Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you ever need to know if it's a real or a fake, just take a cosmic bowling.
Yeah, exactly. Play and Trade Guitars is giving away this Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul to one of you. How to enter? Subscribe to Play and Trade Guitars on YouTube, and we'll give it away when we hit 50,000 subscribers. Hey, welcome back to Play and Trade Guitars. I'm John, and that's Zach behind the camera, and this is Play and Trade Guitars, where we play it and trade it. Today we're talking about Gibson, and this might just be one of the most iconic, amazing guitars I've ever had in my personal collection or come through Play and Trade Guitars. And I'm really, really excited to tell you about what's in this alligator case from Gibson. This is the original case, which is also just super cool. And as we go here, drop a comment. We're going to be talking about Gibson historic guitars today, and this one sits in a special place of Gibson history, and I'll tell you all about it. Come on down here, let's flip these latches and take a look at what we're working with. Oh my goodness. You know, you look at this guitar and you say, yeah, it looks like a Gibson. No, this is the original. This is the original cherry finish on an original 1959 Les Paul Special double cut. And this guitar is just absolutely insane. I feel so lucky to have one in this condition. But while it's in my hands, we get to do the entire rundown of this incredible 1959 Les Paul Special. Check this out, Zach. Serial number, I actually love the serial number on this one, 929626. And what's so cool about that is basically if you flip the guitar over, it's almost exactly the same. If you'll give me the artistic license on the two. It's got this Brazilian rosewood fretboard. It's got that old growth legendary mahogany body. But something that makes this guitar super interesting, it was repaired, and most that you'll find from 1959 have the same repair. If you take a look at these two P90s, the neck P90 is so close to this fretboard that Gibson, didn't leave very much wood to hold the neck on the body, and even a little bit of banging around would actually detach the entire neck from the body. And this one does have a heel repair that was done professionally in Carbondale, Illinois in the 1970s. And we'll put it under blacklight, but actually a new piece of mahogany was cut out here, slid down into the body, and then nitro touch-up was done here. But under blacklight, you'll be able to see the original finish, also compared to this touch-up. The neck just feels like a dream to me. I can't wait to plug it in and play it, but why don't we head over to the bench and talk more specs and get in greater detail before we take it back here, plug it in and let it rip. Here it is. Just can't get enough of this guitar. So the Les Paul Special was actually part of the kind of student range of guitars introduced by Gibson in the 1950s, along with the Les Paul Jr. So the Les Paul Jr. and the Les Paul Special had simpler appointments compared to the standard or the burst that you saw in the late 50s, or certainly the custom, which was kind of like the tuxedo of the Les Paul, right? Or those original gold tops. But what the Special did have above and beyond the Junior was two P90 pickups, just like its big brother. And these were originally, the Special was made as a single cut. Basically just without the maple cap, you just have a mahogany body, which is thinner, without the maple carved top. And it was originally single cut until 1958 when they added this double horn, probably to compete with the double cut guitars coming out of Fender, and also on its way design-wise to the SG, like I was telling you. The checking on this headstock is just so cool, that mother of pearl Gibson inlay. The tuners themselves are replacement, because what would happen with these is they would actually fall apart. This would be, these are actually older no-line Kluson tuners. But just to be able to show you why all these fell apart is that old plastic just does not hold up over time. We do have the replacement tuners, but we also have that serial number 929626. So in 1959, you saw ink stamp serial numbers with 6 digits. Coming down this beautiful piece of mahogany for the neck, we have that 1959 neck profile, which is not too fat, not too slim, kind of perfect in the middle, kind of Goldilocks situation. And here, right, I'm actually going to turn on the black light.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you ever need to know if it's a real or a fake, just take a cosmic bowling.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this kind of brown color that you see is what you want to see on the original nitro finish. So, and you can see the touch-up extends just to these cracks here where everything was repaired as well. Here's another glaring way to know that that one volume knob was a replacement.
Wow. Go back up to the headstock real quick. Look at that, dude. That's where they got that olive drab idea
Oh
from.
yeah, that's cool. And wait till I get the strings out of the way and you see this Brazilian rosewood fretboard, because it is gorgeous. And these are the original frets with like next to no fret wear at all on these, which is just insane too for the age. Truss rod is tested and fully functional. In fact, it turns easily without any stress or fighting. You can see the original fret nibs. This is not a refret. These are the original frets on this guitar. And coming down here, Zach, you'll see the joint that was the problem. This is kind of a transitional double cut Les Paul special, because after this year in 1960, they moved this entire neck pickup back. And that's because they needed more wood to reinforce that joint where the neck was basically snapping off the bodies of these guitars. So if you go shopping for these, the ones without the heel repair are very hard to find and command, you know, typically they can command double the price in some situations. This was originally cherry, just like the Les Paul special you're looking at. And in fact, if you pull off this black pick guard, you'll see bright red cherry like this guitar. But most of the cherries will fade to this kind of orange look, which I think is cool too in its own right. But it's harder and harder to find a guitar from the 1950s, a Les Paul special like this, or any of them with that cherry finish that's so well preserved. You could also say not only this guitar inspired the SG, but almost maybe even more directly shape-wise, this guitar influenced the shape of the Melody Maker. So let's pull out these P90s and take a look at the original pickups. And then I've actually got a little project. Yeah, there's just 2 screws that literally bolt these P90 pickups straight into the body of the guitar. And so if you're trying to raise them up, because they're not really necessarily as adjustable as, you know, more modern pickups, you can just stick something underneath, and if you have long enough screws, it'll allow you to change the height that way. But basically, it's pretty simple. The pickup is just screwed straight into the body. So P90s, of course, are single coil, so they do have some hum, but I love the bite and attack of P90s. So compared to the Les Paul Jr., you're getting the 2 pickups. I mean, the Les Paul Jr. would only have the bridge pickup, whereas the Les Paul Special will have 2 pickups. And I am a huge fan of the neck pickup on this particular guitar. It sounds so good. And yeah, they moved it back a year later, but I don't know, to me, maybe it was in a sweet spot when it was moved forward, and maybe that's why they originally engineered it the way they did. But man, is it cool to see these original pickups on these guitars. This also gives us kind of a look at what was going on with the repair. You can see that this neck actually sheared off through the wood here, through the wood here. And then what the tech did was take a new piece of mahogany that kind of goes back and under, sealed everything up professionally.
So they really are non-adjustable.
I mean, if you have some foam with enough give in it, you can get a little bit of height adjustment, but pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's not much you can do with it. I mean, certainly not like the humbuckers that have the spring tension, you know, adjustment screws. Right, like that. So yeah, let's give this a go and put in a little bit of foam just to boost this up. And I think I'll just cut a couple strips. This doesn't change the guitar in any way. It just basically will boost up physically that P90 pickup a little bit. I'm not going to mess with any of that. I'm basically going to just use what I have to work with here. Cool. So that gave us just a little boost there, hopefully to even out the volume of the pickups. At this point, we can go ahead and put the strings back on and see how we did. If it ends up being too hot, then we can adjust from there, but it's kind of trial and error, so we'll leave it be for now. I have enough clearance. 7.6 on the bridge, 7.4 on the neck, 3.7 combined middle position, reading clean and strong. Like to see that. I was telling you about that awesome 59 neck profile, which is like really just kind of a perfect medium. It sits in the hand. You can get all up and down the neck so easily. Neck feels like a dream. A few measurements. We got a first fret at 0.9 inches. At the 12th fret, we open up to 0.97 inches. The body thickness, again, without the maple cap of a traditional Les Paul, just the mahogany slab is at 1.77 inches in body thickness. And as a reminder, that bone nut was at 1.67 inches. And the weight on this, 8 pounds, 1 ounce, so just over 8 pounds on this guitar. Here's the DI sound of this guitar plugged straight in for recording. No amps, no nothing. Let's just check out those P90s. Neck pickup. Middle position. I'm hearing in terms of the evenness of the P90s. P90s sound great clean, they're great single coil pickups, but when you crank it up a little and let them sing, I think they're fantastic. These are the originals, I can't wait. Let's throw a track on and see how this guitar sounds in the mix. Let's do it. Well, I'm having a blast playing this guitar. The neck is just like perfect to get around on. To me, it's like the perfect, that dream iconic 59 neck profile that just feels incredible. The P90s, we got it boosted up on that bridge. They're nice and even. They have such a good voice to them. This guitar is so fun to play. So for Playing Trade Guitars, I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera. This has been a look at a very special Les Paul special from 1959. So excited to have my hands on it. It's a great sounding guitar. Check us out on our next video. Check out our videos on the channel, and we'll see you guys next time. Remember, you can win this beautiful Les Paul from the Gibson Custom Shop when we hit 50,000 subscribers. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.